All right, so we are back online. Welcome, Augustus Simon, Director, Saudi Tourism Authority. Thank you for joining us today this afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you all, and Salman yourself as well. It's an honor to be part of this Saudi Pakistan Tourism Summit, and I'm looking forward to showcasing a little bit of Saudi Arabia to you all.
All right, good stuff. So, Saudi Arabia has embarked on something that has been never done in the past, and it's so exciting for the world. What Saudi Arabia is bringing and sharing with the global tourist. Red Sea, deserts, hospitality, and beautiful places with a lot of investment. I heard it's over $1.1 trillion that the government has committed over the next few years to invest in infrastructure, attracting over I believe it's 100 million tourists by 2030. I believe, if the numbers are correct. My numbers could be wrong, and so much to offer. So, without any further delay, I would request you to walk us through the audience, myself, and the community watching on social media. That what you guys have been hiding from the whole world.
Thank you so much for that, Salman. Well, I am looking forward to showcasing a little bit of the hidden wonders of Arabia. It really helps that my session is immediately after yourself and Mr. Gardezi, where you've really amped up the destination and the opportunity that is there. So without any ado, I'm just going to share my screen. Salman, if you could just kindly help me to understand if you are able to see the screen.
Sure. I am able to see your screen, Simon.
All right. Okay, done. So before we start off, welcome to Arabia. As I mentioned, my name is Augustus Simon, and I work with the Saudi Tourism Authority, which is the promotional arm of the Ministry of Tourism of Saudi Arabia. Now, as I'd like to start off with a very small video that showcases the different aspects of what to expect during the duration of this presentation.
Our planet never ceases to amaze us. The best is always waiting to be discovered. Every corner hides unseen treasures. In unknown places, treasures of breathtaking beauty that leave you spellbound, where you can reach new heights and feel on top of the world. Run your fingers along the relics of a rich past. Discover new places where you can leave your mark. Be the first to witness a land of fascinating journeys. Where in the world could this be? Saudi. Welcome to Arabia.
It really is my pleasure to be here today to present to you the beauties that Saudi Arabia has to offer for our international visitors. We really are charting our path to achieving our tourism ambitions. Now, during the course of this presentation, we have two aspects that we're going to cover today. One is obviously why Saudi and the vision behind tourism. And secondly is where in Saudi, which is also very important for all of you all to see where and which locations to kind of look at for your customers and segments. Now, before getting on a virtual journey through the country, it is very important to highlight the strategic importance of the development of tourism within the kingdom. Now, Saudi opened its borders to international tourists or leisure tourists in September 2019 as a result of an ambitious program called the Vision 2030, which was directed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Now, this Vision 2030 is a bold yet very achievable blueprint for an ambitious nation. Now, it really looks at expressing our long-term goals and expectations, and it is built upon the country's unique strengths as well as capabilities. Now, if you look at the vision itself, or Vision 2030, it actually guides Saudi's aspirations towards a new phase of development. Now, it is to create a vibrant society in which all citizens can fulfill their dreams, hopes, and ambitions to succeed in a thriving economy. Now, the three main pillars of this vision is a vibrant society, which is about strengthening the Islamic values and national identity. It's about looking at a thriving economy, which is growing and diversifying it, as well as increasing employment. And finally, an ambitious nation, which looks at enhancing the governmental effectiveness within the country. Now, within the Vision 2030, the tourism sector plays a very important role. In fact, it is one of the cornerstones of this vision, with an ambitious goal of reaching 100 million visits by 2030. Now, another one of the key objectives for us of this vision is to sustain the national economy by developing a lot of tourism and national heritage sectors and increasing the number of visitable heritage sites from what is 241 today to about 447. Now, besides this, we also want to be able to contribute to almost 2 million jobs, which will drive a lot of youth employment, as well as contribute towards 15% towards the GDP when it comes to tourism, which today stands at somewhere around close to approximately 3%. Now, before we, kind of move into a little bit more detail, now it's also important to understand where Saudi Arabia is located. Now, Saudi has always been very strategically located between key global waterways that has really made the kingdom an epicenter of trade routes. Now, thanks to this location, as well as the fact that it has 6 international airports across the country, you really have very easy access to continents such as Asia, Europe, as well as Africa. Now, within this 7-hour flight radius, we have a captive audience of almost 750 million leisure travelers. And within this radius, we have identified our key strategic markets, which are going to be the GCC, Europe, UK and Ireland, Russia and CIS, the Indian subcontinent, which comes into South Asia, so countries such as Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Nepal, as well as China and the Southeast Asia belt. Now, we will also expand a little bit further out of this 7-hour flight zone and also center a lot of our activities around Japan as well as North America. Now, it's also very important for me to give you a little bit of a brief about Saudi and the brand around it. Now, Saudi, welcome to Arabia, from a marketing positioning perspective, is going to be our consumer-facing brand. Now, within this consumer-facing brand, it's important to understand what is our unique proposition and offering. Now, this is going to be brought through our brand essence, which is about profound journeys in Arabia. And this is going to be delivered through our brand promise, which is about discovering the wonders of Arabia. Now, this promise or this brand promise is going to be defined through every touch point that we have. And it's going to ensure that every interaction we have with our brand is going to offer a very unique and truly authentic experience. Now, this is going to be done through iconic places, which is about connecting the past with the present. It's also about a lot of timeless and instantly recognizable places. It's about profound experiences, so opening doors to deeper understanding, as well as connecting visitors with locals, which is very, very important for us. And finally, unparalleled hospitality, which is about leveraging the unique traditions of hospitality that Saudi is known for. Now, as we move further, this is another segment that is very important for you as to who are our target audiences for Saudi tourism. Now, leisure, as we say, is one of our key target audiences. And within this segment, we will focus primarily on cultural explorers, traveling to be the first to experience an authentic culture and heritage, and soft adventure passionates willing to explore a completely untapped adventure destination. Now, another key audience segment for us, and which was highlighted before, especially that Pakistan has a huge number of them coming into Saudi Arabia, are the spiritual travelers. Now, Saudi, as we know, is at the heart of the world, or the Islamic world, with millions of travelers visiting each year Mecca and Medina for their annual pilgrimage. Now, I have to be very clear here. our mandate as Saudi Tourism Authority is not to promote Hajj or Umrah, but our mission is to inspire these travelers coming for pilgrimage to expand their horizons whilst in Saudi and to extend for a leisure visit. Finally, the business events and MICE segment, which I also feel is going to have a huge potential from Pakistan, is going to be very important, with a number of strategic sites which have been identified as key locations to host business meetings and business events. Now, before we move on to the next segment, just some key travel information for you to go through. Now, Saudi is the 12th largest country in the world in terms of extension, with over 1,700 kilometers of coastline along the Red Sea, where there's a lot of development happening in the west, as well as the 700 kilometers of Gulf in the east. Saudi is home to almost 34 million inhabitants, and a third of which are expats, with 47% of this population less than 54 years old, which really means that it is a very young nation. As I mentioned to you before, as of September 2019, Saudi had introduced an online e-visa for 49 nationalities, which can be obtained in a maximum of 24 hours at a cost of Saudi riyals 440. Now, this is a 1-year multiple entry visa, which can be obtained and you could stay up to a maximum of 90 days. Having said that, not a lot of countries in the South Asia region or the Indian subcontinent are on this list. However, anybody arriving into Saudi with a valid US, UK or Schengen visa and on a Saudi national carrier is eligible for a visa on arrival into the country. So that also opens up opportunity for your potential customers if they want to visit Saudi. Now, to travel within the country, the easiest way obviously is flying, because in addition to the 6 international airports, Saudi also has 13 domestic airports, which really makes connectivity very, very easy. Now, within Saudi Arabia, you have domestic air carriers such as Saudia, Flynas, as well as Flyer who can take you to from one spot to the other. Now, to travel within the country, as I mentioned to you, the Saudi traditional dress for women, the abaya, is also not requested anymore for international travelers. However, tourists are invited to dress modestly, respecting the local cultures. And for any further information, you can always reach out to our website, which is www.visitsaudi.com. Now that we've gone through some of the strategic information, it is time to take you through some iconic locations and experiences that Saudi has to offer. Now, within or in our national tourism strategy, today we have identified 13 key destinations with over 38 sites, which have the unique, strong potential to attract tourists in the kingdom. Now, these sites are a mix. Now, one more thing that I really want to emphasize on is that Saudi's pillars of tourism are always going to rotate around heritage, nature, culture, as well as adventure. So majority of our sites today that you see are going to have a little element of this. So from a heritage perspective, you have areas such as Alula, Jof, Hail or Tabuk that provide you that heritage bit. So you have Hail, which is found in the north of Saudi Arabia with a typical desert climate. But at the same time, you have Al Jof, which is on the Saudi's northern window to the world and is home to the country's farmers market. So you really have a lot of different aspects. You will also have key cities and international gateways such as Riyadh, Jeddah and Dammam, the holy cities of Medina and Mecca, as well as natural beautiful sites in the south such as Taif, Al-Baha and Asir, which I'm going to take you through a little bit in detail. Now, what I'm going to try and do is show you a little bit of what Saudi has to offer in terms of pictures, because I firmly believe pictures speak louder than words. Now, Mother Nature has really been generous with Saudi Arabia, with a variety of landscapes that really span from rocky mountains and wadis in the north, and hard to believe can be covered with snow during the winter. So an area like Tabuk, for example, up until last month, there was snow in Tabuk. So you really are able to get a complete different perspective towards what the perception is about Saudi Arabia. You also have the untouched islands and sandbanks in the Red Sea, which are home to a lot of different wild fauna, such as dolphins, turtles, different types of corals, as well as pristine marine life. Then you also have obviously synonymous, which is the biggest desert in the world, the Rub al Khali, which is also known as the empty quarters. You also have luxurious mountains that reach almost 3,000 meters above sea level, which is covered in green vegetation, where also, surprisingly, as Mr. Gardezi mentioned, during summer, you really don't see the temperatures going above 25 degrees Celsius, which also means that Saudi can really be sold as a year-round destination. Now, going a little bit further into into the cities, so you obviously have Riyadh. Riyadh is the capital of the kingdom and the biggest city in Saudi Arabia, with close to about 7 million population today. Now, located in the heart of Saudi Arabia, the capital Riyadh is really a blend of ancient and modern, and home to both the historical roots of the kingdom as well as a modern day metropolis. Now, here you're going to discover history all around you with a lot of forts, museums, and many other places. But you can also still tap into the modern culture with cafes, galleries, and a bustling dining and entertainment scene. Now, within Riyadh, if you really have a heritage epicenter, Diriyah can safely claim that title. Now, Diriyah is made up of several districts, including the Al Bujairi and the Al Turaif, and the ruins of these are actually designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, this district is a beautiful illustration of the architecture of the region. It also is the birthplace of the first Saudi states and is also home to the kingdom's most ambitious heritage development, which really is going to amplify this area. Now, cuisine is very important, and Riyadh is really a home to a wealth of restaurants ranging from both street food all the way to fine dining with everything to choose from. Now, Najd Village restaurant, which one of the best places to experience traditional local dishes when you are in Riyadh. Now, the beauty of Saudi Arabia is also that as you move from province to province, and similar to something that is back home in Pakistan, the cuisine that you're having changes, and that really gives you a lot of different diversity when it comes to choosing cuisines. Now, another important site within Riyadh is the National Museum, which tells the story of the kingdom from both the prehistoric times all the way to the modern day through 8 galleries which are encased in a modernistic building. So it gives you a complete different perspective. Now, finally, one of the best sites, as per me, when you are in Riyadh is the edge of the world. Now, in an age of social media, when really there is no higher currency than the perfect backdrop that you have, you really have plenty of that at the dramatic edge of the world. Now, edge of the world is located about 90 kilometers outside of Riyadh, which essentially means a 45-minute drive. And it really is a haven for adventure, for hikers, or just going and seeing the beauty of the place. It really is, and I would recommend you, if you get the opportunity to be in Riyadh, a must-do site. Now, moving on. Now, there is really no place like Jeddah, which also is the second largest city in Saudi. Now, with its own charm, customs, and a wonderful corniche. Now, this coastal city has really been welcoming people to its shores for centuries, and today stands as a true representation of multiculturalism. Now, diversity in Jeddah really extends to every corner of the city, from the thriving art scene all the way to the food culture, to the countless architectural influences that you will find in the city. Now, the King Fahd Fountain is one such thing, which is a landmark of the Jeddah skyline. It fires water almost 312 meters into the air at a speed of about 375 kilometers an hour. You can go here during the day or at night to see the illumination by 500 spotlights for a perfect photo opportunity. Now, when in Jeddah, a visit to Al Balad, the historical downtown area of Jeddah, which was originally built in the 7th century and is still restored, is really a memorable experience. Now, it also is the beauty of this area, or the charm of this area, has really been preserved because through careful restoration, and it also happens to be a UNESCO World Heritage Site for us. So you really have to come here to witness the unique architecture, the colorful markets, as well as the enchanting atmosphere. I mean, I've had the pleasure of being to Al Balad. Even today, when you walk down, you can either go to some of the cafes and the coffee shops, which some of them are almost 80 to 100 years old, or go shopping to the textile as well as the spice markets. So it really is a very serene look to the city. Now, obviously, Red Sea comes synonymous to Jeddah. Now, getting out of the Red Sea is the best way to experience the Jeddah lifestyle. You can do this through to a full day or a half day boat, or private boat, or enjoy a fishing and swimming tour, or dive amongst some of the most preserved coral and marine life in the world. You also have areas such as Umluj, which with its stunning beaches and a mesmerizing turquoise ocean. It also has this soft white sand. Now you will never get enough of Umluj's beauty. You can literally do a lot of island hopping of Umluj, or you can spend your day at Umluj by snorkeling, swimming, boating, as well as end it with a wonderful bonfire experience. Moving on to Alula. Alula is 1,000 kilometers on the northwest of Riyadh and accessible through a domestic airport with a short 1.5 hour flight from either Riyadh or Jeddah. Now, Alula is a place of extraordinary human and natural heritage. We invite you to join us in a living museum of preserved tombs, sandstones, outcrops, historical dwellings, as well as monuments. Now, this is a 200,000-year-old archaeological site, which also happens to be the first UNESCO World Heritage Site of Saudi Arabia. Now, Hegra, also known as Madinah Saleh, which was the first UNESCO Heritage Site, is the largest preserved site south of Jordan, which is synonymous to the Nabatean civilization, making it actually a site of global significance. Now, Madinah Saleh was the first ever archaeological site in Saudi Arabia to join the UNESCO's World Heritage List, and Saudi Arabia has 5 UNESCO Heritage Lists here. Now, similar to Madinah Saleh, there are over 100 beautiful and remarkably well-preserved monumental tombs that are carved from these rock formations in which the Nabatean elite were laid to rest. So it really is a beauty to admire. You also have the Elephant Rock, which is a huge rocky mountain that is more than 50 meters higher from the surrounding area. Now, it is characterized by its unique elephant-like shape. It is located approximately about 20 kilometers from Alula. So it's a perfect spot for just desert sports and mountain climbing, and there is no entry. So you can just come and admire the beauty, or camp by it and enjoy and admire the beauty of Elephant Rock. Moving on towards the Eastern Province. Now, the Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia holds historical, economic, as well as a lot of cultural heft, and offers visitors the chance to experience this progressive and ever-adapting region. Now, Dammam, which is the anchor city of the Eastern Province, is really home to a lot of cultural landmarks in the kingdom's oil and gas industry. Eastern Province is also, Dammam is very easily accessible from Bahrain through the causeway. So you literally into Eastern Province in less than an hour from Bahrain. Now, another key site within the Eastern Province is the Al-Hasa Oasis, which is one of the world's largest natural oases. Now, Al-Hasa combines lush farmlands and date palm groves with more than 100 desert springs, which really makes it a very, very unique experience. Now, over the last few years, is my screen still audible, visible? Saudi is really fast becoming the home of important international events. Now, in January, we hosted the Dakar Rally, which was the second year, the epic, which is the biggest rally raid in the world, and the taste of the extreme. Now, the Dakar Rally is, for the first and foremost, is an incomparable human adventure that you can go through. Now, you also have in 2021, Saudi Arabia will become the 33rd country to host a round of Formula One World Championship when it showcases the inaugural Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in December 2021. So this is something that we're also looking forward to, and is going to be a wonderful feature to add to our destination. We also host the European Golf Tour, hosted at the Royal Greens Golf Cup and Country in Cake, which is King Abdullah Economic City. Now, whilst I've given you a brief on all the current locations that we feel that we are ready, Saudi is also investing a lot on the future of tourism in order to build infrastructure. So some of these sites, besides what I've already spoken to you, such as Alula, Arkidia, which is located in Riyadh, which is going to be the largest giga project. It is Saudi's iconic entertainment destination, which is going to surpass the Walt Disney World in Florida. It is going to have access to over 300 facilities, including theme parks, water parks, as well as the sports city. Then you have Neom on the Red Sea, which is really a futuristic mega city built as the land of the future. It's going to be 33 times the size of New York, and it includes land with the Egyptian as well as the Jordanian borders. And hence, it makes it the first private zone across the border of 3 countries. You also have the Red Sea, which I alluded to a little bit earlier. It really features a lot of natural wonders. And the first phase of the Red Sea development is going to include a lot of hotels, unique attractions, as well as residences, marinas, its own airport, and leisure and entertainment facility. Then you have Amala, which is the Riviera of the Middle East, and is going to focus a lot on wellness, healthy living, as well as meditation. And finally, the newest announcement is Al Suda, which is located in the south of the country, in the region of Suda, and which is going to be developed to become the unofficial capital of adventure for Saudi Arabia. Now, that pretty much brings me to the end of my presentation today. Before I do so, I'd just like to finish off with a small video.
Your screen is not shared. Can you share your screen, please?
I'm sorry, you're not able to see it?
No, you have to share your screen.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, that's a wow. By the way, what you have shown us today, Augustus, believe me or not, living in 15 years in Saudi Arabia and traveling across, we traveled from Saudi Arabia to Jordan. We traveled from Saudi Arabia to Dubai by road, but have never seen so much beauty that you are showing me today. It's phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you for,
No problem.
I think we have a great opportunity here. Beautiful. Now we can see your screen.
All right, I'll just play the video once again. And that pretty much brings me to my presentation. I'm happy to take questions if any.
Excellent, excellent. Good presentation. Thank you. It was an eye-opener, honestly speaking. And I'm pretty sure my audience, the people on social media, would have enjoyed it so much. And by the way, as a follow-up, as I just mentioned, we have a very hand-picked few people joining us today in our live session, but there is a whole follow-up sessions already scheduled, presentations that we would be presenting it to the social media audience as well as the key stakeholders across the country. So very useful and good information. So let's take it from here. I think a lot of us have a question that how I can visit all these beautiful places. What is the one-stop shop there where we can start to learn about all these destinations, and what kind of, like, who is the target customer or a target tourist from a visa point of view, from a age group, demographics, context-based targeting, who you are looking for?
So that's a very good question, Salman, and I think something that I alluded to earlier on in my presentation. So from a target audience group, it also goes back to what yourself and Mr. Gardezi were discussing is when he came down to Saudi some years back with his friends and family, and there was really no opportunity for him to explore Saudi beyond the Mecca, Medina, as well as Jeddah belt. So we really, as Saudi tourism, since spiritual, or the Umrah plus as we call it, is a large part of our strategy, and we really want to make it a free market where we no longer keep that restriction. So that obviously gives a huge opportunity, especially as you mentioned that from Pakistan you had almost 1.6 million Umrah visitors. So that at least gives us a huge base, if I must say. It's contrary to other regions and countries that are part of our priority markets. This really is a very big base for us to work on. Besides this, you obviously are going to have the conventional leisure tourists who are possibly your adventure seekers, culture seekers. They are going to be the early adopters who necessarily want to explore the unexplored. It's that thirst to be the first ones to go and visit a country that has for so long, as you mentioned, being closed to the outside world. And the beauty of that is, so as I mentioned to you right now, is anybody with a valid UK, US, Schengen visa and coming on a Saudi national carrier is eligible for a visa on arrival. So that automatically helps you to funnel down that leisure traveler for now, who's going to be able to come in. And finally, business events in MICE. I know from experience, Pakistan does there is a huge opportunity for corporate travel, and then, kind of mixing that, or what we call bleisure, so business and leisure. So in your case, it could be a lot of corporate visit plus Umrah followed by corporate, or a lot of dealers incentives. So there's a large part of business segmentation where we've been exploring is a lot of MICE movement, where traditionally what used to happen was a dealership or dealer-led incentive was led towards you do the highest and we take you to a trip to Thailand or Singapore and so on and so forth. But now what this opportunity opens up for us is that people can really come into Saudi Arabia. An incentive could be as simple as an Umrah trip for somebody who's in your market, which really is probably the epitome of incentivization, because that's something that everybody wants to do, has been wanting to do. So there really is a lot of opportunity there.
Excellent. Good stuff. We have a request from the audience. They want to come online and with us join this session and ask the question. Allow me, please, to add them into the conversation. I think it's just more of our gesture that our audience can also participate. It's not a one-way communication that we are doing here. So please allow me to add him. His name is Sayyid Jamil. Mr. Jamil, I have handed over the mic to you. So please join and at this stage, and you can ask a relevant question about the subject here. Okay, so meanwhile that is happening.
Simon, can you hear me?
All right, so he's here. Yes, Mr. Jamil, Sayyid Jamil, welcome, sir. Okay. And I can see you are from the United
Simon,
Kingdom. Hope that was...
Hi, Mr. Sayyid.
Thank you very much
doing?
for having me. It was a very well. Thank you very much. A brilliant presentation. I really enjoyed it, and so I've been trying to get in touch with somebody, regards to the tourism within the Saudi Arabia. So I know I mostly deal with the holidays within the Dubai and the Arab countries and European countries and Americas. But my main aim is, and always been, has to promote Saudi Arabia somehow, because we got so much history to show our school children. So the schools are my main aim is the school. Somehow get the children involved, and from the basic, they learn what they've been taught at home. They learn they've been taught at schools, so they can see the first-hand experiences. So this is what we. How do we go about promoting it to the schools? What is the best way?
So obviously, one key thing here is, as part of us growing or advertise, or not advertising, but taking the word out to the world, a large chunk of that is setting up our footprint within these regions, or especially the 7 priority regions. So the good thing for you is, Mr. Syed, is we have set up our Saudi Tourism Authority's office in the UK. So what I'm going to do is, and these guys are Saudi Tourism Authority employees who are it's helping predominantly what you are saying is agents with all the information, all the resources that they need to be able to sell the destination. So my first task, what I would do is I believe you have left your email address and mobile number here. I'm going to connect you through with my office, and they'll be able to instantly help you out with anything that you need. Besides this, in terms of diversifying products to school groups as well as any sort of product, I really would recommend today. I believe after my session, you have companies like Ilaf Group as well as Discover Saudi, who are DMCs who predominantly are working very closely with us to create these like-minded products. That is what they want. They want to understand from you what is the need from your market, so that they can work with the larger audiences of stakeholders and create these foolproof products for you. So I'm happy to help you out with anything that you may need. I will send you an email so you have my details. If there's anything else that you may need, I'll be more than happy to help you with.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Brother Sayed, for joining us. I think that's great that we just wish you safe, UK situation right now. Our prayers are with you.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, that'll be great help. Yes.
No worries.
Anybody else wants to come on the stage and ask questions, please raise your hand and I can hand over this mic to you. Brother Syed, you can leave the stage, so this way the other people can join. Thank you. So Augustus, regarding the, you see that a lot of things are changing, the way that the COVID has impacted our lives, right? And I'm being here on the ground. I know that a lot of efforts are being made at this point. Certainly, there is a lot of uncertainty. However, whenever we don't know, none of us know when the things will go normal. But fundamentally, if you give us a little bit of insight in terms of this Umrah plus sort of direction, because I just share with you something that maybe for our audience and especially Brother Syed may enjoy that as well. There is a Canadian high school students at their graduation. They fundamentally visit they go around and they go to different destinations. So last few years they have been start coming to perform Umrah with their families. So a group of 50 people with their parents, students graduating from the school starts coming in. And you know what? These are teenagers. They are graduating from their high school. And their parents and them wants to come and perform Umrah, but they also want adventure. They also want to explore the other parts of, so they want to go in desert. They want to spend a night in desert. They want camel rides. They want a special mandi to eat. They want to do shopping. And then now, other opportunities. So I believe there is a huge opportunity in the West, where the Western people from Canada, US, UK, other parts of Europe, explain us how and what kind of services and how these travel agents community can connect with the Saudi Tourism Authority.
Look, it's a very valid question and something that, again, goes back down to the kind of products and what is it that the consumer wants, right? So we really today, in my presentation, as I mentioned, we are working on aggressively amplifying the 13 locations that have been identified as per our national tourism strategy. Now, when it comes to the different types of audiences and the different types of activities they want to do, so today it's very easily available where any of our travel agent friends or want to buy products that are only catering towards adventure, only catering towards culture, or have a mix of everything. So easily today you have a possibility where you finish your pilgrimage, you come back down to Jeddah. If you'd like, you spend a couple of days in Jeddah, go to a city tour of Taif, come back. You can easily do a 2-night, 3-day stay in Alula, followed by going into Riyadh, where you have Edge of the World, you have the heritage in Diriyah, you have the National Museum, you have the souk, you have the observatory at the Kingdom Tower. So all these products are readily available. And if it's all about reaching out, that's where us as Saudi Tourism Authority are very happy to connect you through to our DMC partners in Saudi Arabia, who will be able to and who already have these products. Because whilst COVID has put a stop to a lot of things, it's also given us as Saudi Tourism the opportunity to develop a lot of the foundations, and that's what we've been doing over the last year. And to be honest, what we've been able to do very well is, over the last year, obviously a lot of Saudis have not been able to travel. So we've launched some successful domestic campaigns where we've had locals who've been using these packages and using our DMCs, and you see immense success ratio and the amount of diversity that is there. You really have something from cuisine to somebody who wants to adventure out into the sea and enjoy the sea, or somebody who enjoys hiking. You really have an n number of options for your friends to choose from.
Excellent, good stuff. You know what? You're making me so excited that I am going to be on the first flight back to Saudi Arabia as soon as hopefully it will open very soon.
Please, it will be my honor to welcome you and showcase a little bit of what I've shown you on the presentation today.
Excellent. On the other end, definitely, you know what, you and me and the rest of the stakeholders, we have to work, very diligently, very focused to improve the tourism towards Saudi Arabia, as well as I've said, I have been always being the advocate that the cultures has to start talking to each other. The people have to connect, and that's where the relationships are going to build. If we send enough number of people connecting with the local Saudi, people, citizens, and learning the culture, they are going to invite them to Pakistan, and the Pakistani people are going to go back and forth. And I think that's where the common man is going to get benefit. And being part of the community of tourism, I am ready. My organization as fanatic.com is also ready to put our part into this whole exciting journey. So thank you very much for having us, for joining us today. And I think this is just the start. This is just the beginning. It's a holiday. It's raining outside. I was not feeling well last night, but there are things that they gotta do. We gotta do it, right? With all the bad situations with Corona, with all the situations going around in the world, we all have to work together and build a strong bond and ecosystem. So, in the end, we are able to serve our tourists and our guests.
Now, once again, thank you so much, Salman and the team of Fanatic, for giving us this opportunity. We really are, very, very serious about seeing how is it that we can support the tourism ecosystem, whether that's pre-COVID, post-COVID. We are there. Please feel free to reach out to us. Anything that we can do together, we're more than happy. And I'm sure you'll be able to see that further when our DMC partners present later on.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Enjoy your rest of the afternoon. And we will be taking off for next 10-15 minutes before our next session. So audience, please stay in touch. You can go back, do some networking. It's a break. If you want to eat or do something else, it's your choice. Feel free, and we will be back Pakistan time, 3 o'clock. That will be after almost 17 minutes. We will be live again. Use this opportunity, meet with people in the meeting room. As I mentioned, you can connect with them on any empty seat and start exchanging information and giving your suggestions. Use the chat, live chat, where we can help each other, exchange your business cards, display your contact information so other people can pick it up. You can look at the attendees list on a particular person. You can contact with them. You can raise questions. You can ask questions. You can raise your hands to participate on this stage. Feel free. This is your event. It's a very easy to use technology, and it will be a lovely interaction today with all of you. And so let's close this session and come back again. Thank you.